the door, somebody's got his finger caught in the buzzer.
Yeah, that's right. Kay, I told you I didn't...
I stopped by to deliver something, Cliff. An ultimatum. I'm telling you for the last time...
Hold it. We're not alone.
I don't care what I have to say to you. I'll shout from the rooftops. We're through, washed up. Now get out of my life and stay out.
Kay, please.
Good evening, Miss Vanneman.
I don't know you, Slim, but keep out of this.
Look, darling, don't...
Now you listen. I'm in love with Boyce Neely. Really in love this time. I intend to marry him, and I won't have you...
Marry Boyce Neely? Oh, don't be ridiculous.
Cliff, I'm warning you.
Look, you'll get this. You'll never marry Boyce Neely. That's one thing I'm sure of. I know a lot more about him than you do, darling. Believe me. When the time is just right, you're going to hear from me again, but loud.
Why, you filthy... If you try to do anything to hurt Boyce and me, Cliff Lace, so help me, I'll kill you. I mean it.
Sometimes she's going to throw that temper at me just once too often.
Who you kidding, Lace? Ever see her use a target pistol?
She's too smart to trump her own ace.
Don't count on it, mister.
No, I'm not worried. Where were we, Marlowe?
We were looking for some answers, which I just got. Good night, Lace. Keep your head down. The way things were breaking, I was sure if I didn't get to the woman named Estelle before Lace did, I wasn't going to get anywhere. So I spent the next hour folded up in a phone booth running down the list of respectable and semi-so hotels with the word plaza either fore or aft. Finally, a flute-voiced night clerk in a mid-Victorian number called the Royce Plaza confessed that they had a Ruth Bridges, which was the name that I'd heard Lace mention. She was registered from Santa Monica, but at the moment out. I was convinced that she was really Estelle, Mutt Pomeroy's client. So I drove over to the hotel, invested $5 for the night clerk, picked up a newspaper, and waited. Halfway down the sports page, a prim brunette came in who would have been pretty without the overload of nervous strain stamped on her face. As she crossed the deserted lobby, the clerk gave me a nod, so I called her name, caught up with her at the foot of the stairs.
You called me?
Yeah, if you could spare me a minute, Miss Bridges, I'd like to talk to you.
What do you want?
Well, my name's Marlowe. I'm a private detective.
A private detective?
Yeah, look, honey, let's move over into the corner. You know, that boy on the desk is going to sprain his neck if we don't.
But what do you want with me?
Well, suppose we start off with your real name, Estelle. What's the rest of it? Neely, maybe, huh?
How did you know that?
It's taken me all evening to get it. But that's the only way it figures. It's right, isn't it? You're married to Boyce Neely?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Mrs. Boyce Neely, but what business is that of yours?
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out. You hired Mutt Pomeroy to check on your husband because you're worried about him, right? Why?
Boyce is in trouble. He's in a jam, that's all.
Is it money?
No, Boyce does very well. He's in real estate in Santa Monica.
Oh, maybe with the law, huh?
Yes. Yes, I'm afraid so. He's been acting so strange. He wouldn't talk to me or anything. I just had to find out what was wrong.
I see. Well, look, what's your connection with Cliff Lace?
Why, I don't know any Cliff Lace.
Oh, come on, baby. Take it a little easy and try again. Cliff Lace, I know you called him tonight, and he called you.
All right. He wanted to talk to me about Boyce and some girl named Kay Vanneman, but he's crazy. I know he is. Boyce is not mixed up with another woman. He couldn't be.
I hope I meet your husband soon, Mrs. Neely. I'd like to punch him in the nose.
What do you mean?
Mutt Pomeroy was right. The Estelles are always the last to know. Look, do me a favor. Will you go up to your room, go to bed, and get some sleep? You're going to need it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Marlowe.
Hey, Buster, where's the phone?
Oh, right over there, sir.
Good book?
Uh-huh. Huh? Oh, yeah, great. Chandler's new one, you know.
Chandler. Where have I heard that name before?
Hello? Enoch Vanneman?
Marlowe, Mr. Vanneman. Kay there?
No, she's not, Marlowe. And listen, I want you to forget whatever else you're doing and find her immediately.
Why, what's the matter?
She left here about 15 minutes ago in a fury.
Where was she going?
I don't know for sure. She left shortly after you did tonight. Then she came back about an hour ago.
I know. I ran into her. What happened this time?
She got a phone call from Cliff Lace. Something was said about him now being in the driver's seat, whatever that means, and she was furious.
That's not good, Vanneman, believe me.
Well, it's worse than you think. You've got to stop her. Because when she left here, Marlowe, I'm quite sure she had her target pistol with her.
I hung up the phone, ran out to my car, and headed back to Cliff Lace's bungalow on Cherimoya. But Kay had a 15-minute head start, and at that hour, in her frame of mind, the drive in from Bel Air was a hop, skip, and a jump. The only hope was in Lace himself being smart enough to know that he'd overplayed his hand. The street was deserted when I pulled in and parked down the hill from the place. When I got to the front door and found it unlocked, I eased it open and went in. The living room was dark, but there was a light on in the bedroom, and I started for it. Before I saw the bulk of a figure leaning against the dark side of the frame.
Come on in, chum. Make yourself at home.
What are you doing here, Mutt?
Easy, Marlowe. There's no hurry. Not now, there's not. School's out, chum.
Where's Lace?
Inside. It was nice, clean, accurate, and exactly dead center. He never knew what hit him.
In just a moment, the second act of Philip Marlowe. But first, for a moment, let's look at the headlines on CBS's entertainment for tomorrow night. First, East is East and West is West. So, Jack Benny, on his way to New York, hasn't yet heard that the subway fare is a dime. Second, Charlie McCarthy, already in New York, rewrites Henry Fonda's tough-talking Navy officer in Mr. Roberts. And third, Andy of Amos and Andy, released from bail, jail, and Abigail, gets into new hot water. Besides these, you'll also find headliners Eve Arden, Red Skelton, Horace Heidt, and all the other great Sunday night shows on most of these same CBS stations tomorrow night. Now, with our star, Gerald Muhr, we return to the second act of Philip Marlowe and tonight's story, The Hairpin Turn.
A small, neat hole front and center at his forehead said that Cliff Lace had been shot to death. And everything from jealous motive to target pistol method pointed directly to Kay Vanneman. But that was still a long way from proof, and there was Mutt Pomeroy on hand. The kind who always figured only one way. To the right of the dollar sign.
Now, let's not jump to any dumb conclusions, Marlowe.
Like what?
Like the look on your kisser that wants to know what I'm doing here. That I can explain. I got Cliff Lace's name from you, and a sawbuck to the right guy gave me a rundown on him, a sort of a character analysis, you might say.
So
I figured he was the guy who frisked my office to find out who I was working for. He must have tagged me out of the Vanneman place, followed me down to my joint, then turned everything inside out until he ran across something that added for him.
something like the name Estelle Neely, maybe?
You move fast, don't you, Marlowe?
Yeah, when there isn't too much crowding. I've got most of it already, Pomeroy, so spill.
Spill? I don't know what you mean, Marlowe.
I mean that Estelle Neely hired you to find out why her husband was worried. You came up with an answer, all right. It was called Other Woman.
So?
Estelle didn't even suspect anything about another woman. And you didn't tell her what you found out because it was Kay Vanneman, a gal with $1 million, right or wrong.
Suppose you're right, Marlowe. What are you getting at?
A possibility that you could have done this.
Kill Lace? Why?
Because Lace was playing the same game that you are, chum, blackmail. Your motive was money and so was his. Plus the fact that he didn't like Kay giving him his walking papers.
So when he wouldn't come to terms with me, I killed him, is that it?
Yeah, it could be. Can you prove otherwise?
No, I can't. But other things can, Marlowe. Things, yeah. Like that lipstick-smeared cigarette in the ashtray behind you. It's not my brand. And I don't drop hairpins on the carpet when I kill. Do I go on? Or were you just trying it for size because you hate to think that a gorgeous item like young moneybags could be it?